A red carpet, a military presentation, and a warm welcome. Russian President Vladimir Putin was welcomed in China like a good friend. The 75th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between China and Russia is a pretext for deepening bilateral relations, first of all in the field of military cooperation. China will always be a good neighbor, a good friend characterized by mutual trust with Russia. However, the partnership is only PR for media coverage. Putin flew to China for good reason. It is on Chinese aid that his military potential largely depends. China's goal is to now use Russia to rebuild that power, including at the expense of the Russian Federation, while at the same time keeping Russia and Russia's actions, because it is in the interest of security, for example, in the north of China. Plus, Russia pushing into Europe, destabilizing and splitting Europe internally is in China's economic and political interest. Putin visited one of China's top universities, which conducts developmental research in military technology, a clear signal that China wants to make Russia even more dependent on it. Putin's visit to this university is evidence that there will be increased access by the Russian arms industry to Chinese war technology. In parallel, China continues to expand its economic expansion in Europe. It is basically thanks to the West's policy toward China that today China has a network of dependencies that cannot be broken, even in the face of growing diplomatic tensions. Here we have Chinese interests and Russian interests, and we are in the middle, and our interests are ours as Poland, the interests of our neighbors, the whole European Union, and on top of that, the interests of the United States as well. This can be evidenced by the fact that just before his meeting with Putin, the Chinese president met with the U.S. Secretary of State, the German Chancellor, or the French president. Each of them tried to convince and warn President Xi Jinping against further cooperation with Putin. This visit showed that President Xi ignored those warnings and set his sights on even more cooperation with Russia. As a result, there has been a deepening diplomatic split, or as experts point out, political schizophrenia, for several years. Poland is fully aware of China's military alliance with Russia. On the other hand, it is clear that it is impossible to disentangle itself from China's web of economic influence.